All right, folks, here we are on Trading Nut. Now, look, I'm being a bit cheeky here, and I've asked Dr. Martin, who's been on the show. If you haven't seen him before, he's been on the show before. I'm asking him to show us the way he traded. This isn't the way he trades now, but the way he traded when he grew his account from 5,000 to 150K before he blew it all in one day. And I just want to, we've gone through the market, US 30. I don't know if you're going to show us US 30. Are you going to show us US 30 way,
Yeah,
or are you going to?
I can still do that. Show you the
Okay.
example on US 30. I can
Okay,
still do
he's going to share the chart and he's going to show you how he did trade this way to grow his account. Hey folks, my sponsors City Traders Imperium have just launched some amazing changes to their funded trader program you got to check out. You can now skip the whole evaluation, trade gold as well as Forex, plus they've increased the drawdown you're allowed in both the evaluation and when funded. With C2A, it's even faster and easier to reach up to $4 million in funding with a 50 to 70% profit share. Click the link in the description to find out what else has changed. This is not like a recommendation kind of thing. This is more this is just out of interest, because if you heard the show and wondered what he actually did, you're going to find out here.
100%. So I'll just delete everything. I didn't have anything on my charts, by the way. So I'm just going to go to the daily time frame. This is pretty much how I used to look at the markets. And I think, okay, just a second. So this is obviously how I would look at the market. So first of all, I'd go to the daily time frame. Remember very well, man. I remember how the strategy used to be. So I'd go to the daily time frame, look for my support and resistance levels. Then I would obviously, so the first thing, daily time frame, support and resistance, I would draw my support over there. So resistance over there. And then I'd look for like levels like these on the daily. And obviously we do have that one at the top over there. This is pretty much how I used to look at it. And from here, I really go down to the H4 time frame. So on the H4 time frame, then I would obviously look for my trend on the H4. So obviously I'd have this drawn up as well. That would have been drawn up as well. So I want to use an example of how I would have done it actually. So I would have done this. So let me take up this area over here to maybe show you exactly what we did have. So obviously this market, let's maybe use this area over there. So let's look at this. So I would have obviously looked at this particular market that we do have over here. And I would have obviously drawn a trend line. So I would have had the trend line from there to there. So if you look at that, we do have our trend lines in from the first, second week, and obviously that would have been the fake out of the trend line, and the market would have broken out of the trend line. So for me, I'd be looking for buys already, even without understanding exactly where the market is going. So just if I spot a trend line breakout, for me, I'm already looking for buys, right? So we do have this trend line set up over there. So I'd be looking for buys. Obviously, I would have had maybe this highlighted area over there to say, okay, I'm going to look for buys around, around here. So what I would have done is I would have waited for the markets to come and retest this trend line. Once the market touches the trend line and I see a slight wick, I wasn't even going to ask, or maybe I would have highlighted this area instead. So I would have had this area on the lows over there. So I would have obviously looked at this area on the lows, and I would have waited for the market to come and maybe leave a spike on both the trend line and that yellow level. And then I would obviously then look at obviously buying from there. So I'm going to try and play this forward and see how that would have played out. So let's see how that would have played out actually. So I would have obviously,
And you were targeting like 30 pips a time, weren't you?
yeah, 30 pips a time. So look at that. So as soon as I see that, I would have just bought. From there, I would have bought. Let me just pause for a second. So see that? I would have bought over there. So I would have basically bought over there based on the fact that we've got that trend line breakout. And also with the strategy I used to use, it basically says that if you do spot the break of a trend line, then this move is supposed to go back up to the beginning of the trend line. So even when I do catch the 30 pip move, I would have still believed in my head that this move is supposed to go all the way up there compared to what I know right now. That this doesn't typically mean that the market is on a buying market, because if you do look at the structure, this is still very much bearish right now, if you ask me, based on how this formation is built. So I would have looked for like a long-term buy, mainly because it broke out of the trend line, which is what's different right now, because, you know, obviously the market is above the trend line. So I would have bought there to target maybe 30 pips. And from there, I would still believe that the market would go up.
Hey guys, ever wonder what broker I use? Well, I use these guys, Hanko Trade. Look, it was a no-brainer for me because I was looking for a broker with really good trading conditions and one without any leverage restrictions. Look, also, by joining Hanko Trade, I was able to cut my cost of trading significantly with their super low commission of $1 per 100K. Look, if you want to find out more, check out hankotrade.com, or there is a link in the description. Guys, if you do want to find out how he actually trades now, then watch the other video. What I'll do is I'll hook this up at the end of this, so stay tuned. You'll be able to click on the button there to get it. Now, before we wrap up, what's the best way for the guys to get hold of you?
Obviously, YouTube and Instagram. Just search Dr. Martin. You'll find me on there.
Awesome, guys. I'll put a link to the podcast as well below this, so if you do want to check that out, you're going to find out all about Dr. Martin's story and have all those links conveniently for you there as well. Do remember, hit subscribe, hit like, and click on the notifications bell, and we'll see you in the next video.